built is try to simplify the space, especially in the blockchain space, for the everyday people. So over the last 5 years, I mean, I'm wearing a suit today, but generally I've got twigs in my hair and mud on my face. We bootstrapped our own company, so it's been a bit of a up and down ride over the last sort of few years, should I say, sort of thing. So there's a difference between funded and obviously being bootstrapped yourself. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster. We literally launched our product today after 5 years. It took us 5 years to build, and what we wanted to do is to make sure that when I started out on this journey as a business developer over 20 years of my life, is that we wanted to build a solution that really tapped into the mass market. So what I've seen working in the space for many years was that there was lots of great solutions, and there's great B2B, and every conference we go to, everybody talks about adoption, but the elephant in the room is, what are you doing about adoption? What is everybody doing about it? If you've got B2B, 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 it just becomes a massive private club. So we wanted to be able to build a company that really resonates with everybody, and we wanted to do something a little different as well. We wanted to bring a platform together that really takes away all the thousands of tabs on the top of your screen and the security behind opening up multiple accounts with different companies. We wanted to bring it all into one platform. And we're quite proud because Elon Musk is currently trying to build the exact same thing now. So this has massively humbled us that we've got ahead of the game in some respects of somebody of such grandeur, especially in the tech space. So, but to get to that point and to get to understand what we've been doing over the years is that we needed to really understand the customer. And what we did, which a lot of investors would probably hate, is that we forgot about the bottom line. We pushed the bottom line to one side and we focused on the customer journey. So similar to Disney, we've opened up our theme park and we're going to allow the users to figure out the paths along the way. So this is what we do to build out our company. So we really wanted to focus on what does a customer need and what does the everyday user need to do to get into blockchain and to understand crypto. So for the everyday user, and I'm sure you probably all know one person or a million people between you, if you mention the word crypto, if you mention the word Bitcoin, the word Bitcoin, you'll be very surprised for them to say, A, it's a scam, A, it's just risky, A, or C, it's not for me, I can't understand it, it's too complex. So these were the main questions that we see coming up over and over again, is that what do we do to solve those problems? So for us, from Rexla, it was all about that journey to bring people on board, for using the new technology for us. From the first person that jumps onto an exchange for the first time, you will understand how cumbersome that can be and a very difficult process. And for somebody that builds a company up, for me to jump onto for crypto.com, I haven't been on for a while, even recently for me, that was quite, is trying to navigate what they've built. So the everyday person, they don't care about your project. They don't care what you're doing on the blockchain because they don't understand it. So what we try to do in Rexla is make it suitable for everyone. So Debbie the hairdresser, Johnny the builder, who barely may not even touch a computer, can really start to understand what we're trying to put together. So we've made it as simple as open a bank account. So if you want to use our exchange, or you want to use our dating app, or you want to use our social media platform, yes, it runs on a blockchain, but you can still use our product and service every day and use fiat. You can use regular money, but it just so happens we run on a blockchain, and it just so happens we have a token, and if you do use our token, you get a discount. And what comes with that, if you don't know how to use our token after opening up our wallet, we'll teach you, and we teach you for free, but we don't teach you the normal way. We wanted to look into different ways of how people learn. So a lot of the companies that we see how they teach or try to educate people about crypto or try to pull you over the line, come over to crypto, come over to blockchain, you're missing out. This isn't working. It's not going to work because there's been too much damage done by media, governments over the years telling you to stay away from it. You're going to get burned. It's a scam. But there's been a 180. But that damage has already been done. So for people to open up companies, education companies, using the same mantra and the same styles of regular education, learn this from 1 to 100. Once you've learnt this, you know how to use crypto. What we wanted to do is break down and be a bit more user-centric and empathic, and make sure that when you sign up, you can just add an email and you're signed into our entire hub. Our hub consists of one hub with multitudes of products, which are our own products and other people's products. We add on to the hub. We're like a massive PR machine that goes round and you can pick out whatever you want to use. But within that system, we've added AI. And what we've done is we start to train our AI to make sure that we understand that not every single person is the same. Not everybody learns the same. Everybody is different, whether you may have a learning disability, or maybe you prefer reading, or you prefer visual. We make sure that once you are coming into the space and you're completely unfamiliar with the space, that our education is a bridge, but we are the longer arm of that bridge to bring you across. So when you're ready to learn about blockchain, when you're ready to learn about cryptocurrencies, then you come in at your own pace. So you can dip in and out, learn how you want to learn, rather than having it forced down your neck to say, this is what you need to do, so you can open an exchange. We simplified everything. And not only that, we've simplified our services. So even from our exchange, which will be released very soon, which we've had delays on, it's been a long couple of months. But what we've tried to do is simplify everything, even from our exchange, to take away all the jargon and make it as simple as using a bank account. From our wallet is the same. Once you sign up, you have a DID, you're in our wallet. It gets you into our entire ecosystem of products and services. But the wallet has been simplified, as same as using a bank account. You can send money from A to B, you can switch a coin instantly, without having to go through too many problems along the way. So our product itself, is what we've tried to do, is make sure that we maintain a relationship for everyday users, and that they can understand what we're doing is a balance between the new transition into technology and also their needs coming into it and their concerns as well. And this has been a big eye-opener over the sort of, especially the last few months, where people are becoming more and more interested in the space, and that people do reach out and say, how do I get involved? And it's like, well, we wish we released the product a year ago, but technology and problems got in the way, especially with our dev team. But what we try to do in the process of building out is that we want to make sure that every single person, as they step into the space, they understand products that are coming out. So similar to our products that jump onto the wheel, similar to what Sony were just talking about earlier, is that we support certain products and services that come onto a wheel, B2B businesses that we're interested in pulling on board. Similar to what Sony were just talking about, we have a music production, system called HEO, which is a partner of ours, which makes sure that 100% of all of their products, all of the music royalties go back towards the artists, 100%. And this is the sort of thing that Rexla tried to push for, is that once you understand what Rexla is and what we're about, the empathy and the journey to come on board, every single one of our products and services that we work with or that we own personally has to benefit the user first, has to benefit the business first. So whatever we do, before we release anything, before we do anything, it has to go back to a point where we understand that either the customer benefits or the user benefits or the company that we work with benefits before Rexla benefits. So that's what we talk about when we talk about not focusing on the bottom line and focusing on the customer journey or the business journey as a company. Because over the last few months, what we've seen is incredible. I was at the same point if you've ever seen that guy on YouTube blowing up a candle, trying to take profit on a trade. I've just been doing that for the last 4 months with Bitcoin. Like, let it go. And people are like, I wish I joined in. What is this? What's going on? So now we're just like, we're chasing our tails a little bit here with trying to catch up with what's going on in the markets. We were delayed on getting released, which has gone for about, I think we're about a month overdue now from when we were meant to release. but we released tonight, so we're quite excited. But what we've tried to do now is make sure that we build a company that is accessible for every single person. And our main goal over anything is to make sure that the everyday person can get involved and understand the space without having to go through too much technical jargon. So that's really what we are about. I'm actually quite excited because my business partner has literally just flown up today, and I'm actually going to pull him up off the spot. His name's Nathan Wilnow. He's my business partner, and I was very fortunate to find such a guy to build such a platform. We've gone into great partnerships now with the biggest conference on the planet, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin conference, which I'll be speaking at, which holds up to 30,000 people globally. We have new partners like Heo, which is 100% royalty to the artist for as the answer to Spotify. We have Sleep.io, which is the answer to Bookings.com. We are just about to release our crypto sky scanner app, which is again crypto friendly across the board, but also you can use fiat. And we're just very excited to be able to push this product out now for every single person to use. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it over to Nathan because it's exciting to get him up. I never get to see this guy. We live on opposite ends of the country. I live in Edinburgh. He lives down near Cambridge, and we spend most of our lives online. And his partner and our friends generally hate us because we don't seem to see the light of day. And this is the first time I've actually been out for 4 weeks, so it's great. It's nice to see humans for a change. So I'm a bit squishy. And dogs, yeah. I thought that was a human. I've been outside for. But anyway, I'm going to pass over to my business partner Nathan because it's about time he speaks.
So thank you. So I'll try and add to that in the best way I can without reiterating too much, and I'll try and deviate some other externals around what Rexla is and what we stand for and how we operate. I was going to dive in and show you, but it didn't seem to work. I don't know if that's your internet or our website.
I think university internet.
I'll blend the university. So I was going to show you the hub. So Paulo has explained kind of the journey until now, and we're now at launch phase, which is really exciting, but we're not naive enough to believe that where we are now is we've made it. It's actually kind of base camp on the journey, and we're looking to actually listen to not just the inner Web3 world, but also the customers that we're looking to onboard. So people like my father, who's 70 years old, and when I talk to him, as Paulo said, it's kind of there's a glazing over of what are you on about, and I was speaking to my landlord, who is a farmer. He understands tractors and growing crops, and he tries to explain to his peers about what I do, because they ask, "Oh, what does your tenant do?" He just utters the word blockchain. So these types of people we're going to, they would be like test pilots, so we can show them what we've built, and they will be our feedback source. And if these people can use it, then that's how we know we're doing a good job. So it's about listening to our customers. So we're not just building it and hoping that they come, because that's a bit of a fallacy. We're trying to build it where they're going and take it to where they are now, but then have a communication and listen to them and constantly evolve. So what we've created, as I say, isn't how it's going to be forever. We're going to need to evolve very quickly, and that's not just with customers, but also our partners. So when we're onboarding partner services, they need to adhere to our ethos around how we do business, but also we want them to be willing to work with us so that we can communicate and evolve internally. So it might be that we need to work on user interfaces, or it might be customer service. I think the internet, the Web2 world, as we like to call it in this room, over the years has become almost quite complacent and relies solely on little messages, and there's a lack of human interaction, which it can be helpful because you can get the answers you need very quickly. But what we want to be able to do is kind of actually listen with a level of empathy where we can change with that, if that makes sense. Did you have a look? Was it working? Still not working? So our hub, I'll explain it to you rather than show it to you. I'd like to show it to you. It'd be much easier. It's a wheel of services, and on there it's changing the way people interact at the moment. It's an up and down scroll. You search on the internet, you might find what you're looking for, you might not. It's likely that you'll be inundated with adverts and just bombarded, and you're kind of a little bit lost. We've been saved in recent years with AI. It gives you a nice summary of your search, but what we're delivering is almost a curation of services that we believe people use every day, and also align with an ethos that people want. It's certainly one that we want, where there's trust, transparency, and above all service, so that we're actually, the words, service businesses are used quite loosely, but in my experience from recent years, customer service has kind of been lost, and COVID was a final nail in the coffin, where everyone just went, do you know what, I can't be asked, can't be bothered to deliver service, whether it be products. So we want to bring that back. It's almost kind of like an old school ethos, where customers always right type scenarios. We want to bring that back, basically, and deliver services that have value every day. And the way that we've made the hub is that services can be added and removed. And it may be that there's some services that you use more than others. So what we want to evolve to is a user interface that you can pick and choose, obviously, the order. So the internet is just, it's vast, but ours is a curated wheel where you can have, some services you might not ever use, so you can push them to the back and just have the ones at the front. But above all, it's, again, just to go back to what Paulo said, it's about giving support and education along the way. So as new services come in, whether it be an in-house product that we've created, or a third-party partner that we've partnered with, that we bring in our education team and we review it and work with customers and provide education and hand-holding to make sure that people can actually use these services. A lot of companies, I've seen it myself, where, again, I won't name drop companies, but they start off and you can see that they've had the same ethos where they want to keep it simple, but then they think, oh, this is a good idea, let's add that and let's add that, and over the course of 2 or 3 years you end up with an interface which is clustered, so then every time a new customer comes on board, it's just overwhelming. So we want to, as we grow, we want to always come back to our original game plan, which is about simplicity, seamless interconnection and service, and as long as we keep coming back to that, I believe we'll be successful. So I don't know how we're doing time. Are we about there? Give or take. Have we got any questions?